Social influencer Andrew Tate will face no criminal charges over allegations made by multiple women who are suing him in a UK High Court civil case. 4 women have accused Tate of sexual violence in 2015. The Crown Prosecution Service said today that the legal test to bring criminal charges had not been met in that case specifically. Well, Andrew Tate joins me now to discuss this. Andrew Tate, welcome back to Uncensored. Just to be clear, so for those who have not been following the multiple cases that you've been involved with, tell me what it is that you've been addressed with today in relation to these specific charges.
Yeah, for anyone who's not been following, I can make it very simple. I became the most Googled man in the world, and I was saying things they didn't like, and all of a sudden, every single country I'd ever stepped foot in started attacking me with all these strange legal cases from decades ago. And the process is the punishment. You and I have been speaking for a long time. We're old friends. And every time we speak, there seems to be some new case against me. And you quite, rightly say, we'll wait to see what happens in court. And here we are 4 or 5 years later, and they all fall by the wayside. So every single member of parliament, Vice News, BBC, every single person who said they've spoken to my victims has spoken to one of these girls. And the CPS has just said that these girls don't even have enough evidence to allow me to be charged, proving that they were lying all along. We know that people lie, both men and women, especially where there's a financial incentive. So this is just one step closer to my complete exoneration, sir.
To platform him.
I know, not at all. I think it's interesting to interview Andrew Tate on a day that the criminal charges from one of the 2 police forces get dropped. I do think that's interesting and significant.
But let's clarify why that is, because it's very difficult when you're bringing a rape case to prove it.
We don't have to clarify it.
Just to be clear, majority of rape cases don't end up
putting aside your obvious bias, we don't have to clarify anything because the Crown Prosecution Service said the legal test to bring criminal charges had not been met. They said we undertook a further review of a case filed in relation to allegations of assault and rape between 2013 and 2015. Following careful consideration of the evidence provided by Hertfordshire Constabulary, we concluded that our legal test for prosecution was not met and that no further action should be taken.
And to be clear, Andrew Tate said on your show that the police had no evidence. That was an outright lie. They don't have no evidence. They just didn't meet the evidence.
He's entitled to his view. You're entitled to yours.
And I'm challenging his. As your friend. He proclaimed himself your friend. Is he your friend, by the way?
He's not a friend. He's someone I interview regularly.
You didn't challenge him on that, though, when he called
I've never met Andrew Tate socially in my entire life.
Just to clarify.
He can call me what he likes.
Didn't it bother you that he kept on talking about your sons? He kept on making a parallel between himself and your sons?
No.
Like bracketing himself off with all men. Oh, these poor men who are constantly under attack from women.
I think it's quite enlightening the way you're reacting to this, because you in your head have clearly already convicted him.
No, I haven't convicted him. I want to wait until the
You don't want to give him any due process.
I don't want to give him a platform in the meantime. Those women aren't. They're cowering, anonymous, because they know that if they came out, boom,
what if they are lying?
Well, if they are lying, due process will make sure that Andrew Tate is exonerated
do you accept
in Florida, in Romania, in Britain.
Well, the American case is there's no further development on that. That's stopped. The case here, though, if they're lying, we don't know yet, because the civil case, his lawyer says here, the civil case, it will become clear when people hear the evidence. So let's wait and see what the evidence says. But there's no doubt that the police have concluded, after a lengthy investigation, that the evidence that was put forward of a crime has not been met.
That's not unusual in the vast majority of rape cases.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. How are we feeling about the young lady on the platform coming in to voice her opinion about Andrew Tate?
She makes me hate British women more than I already did. Why the fuck does a man have to go through due process to prove he's innocent, just to prove a woman lied on him? That's the bullshit that I hate about the majority of these, like, believe all women, Me Too movement bullshit. Like, he got it. So he says, what if he was lied on? Well, then then he'll get due process in court. You shouldn't be able to lie and get someone to go to court to be on trial for their fucking life. Like, what do we? Like, that's stupid to me, and I think that people who believe that are also stupid.
Is probable cause the standard for arrest and charges in the UK?
Preponderance of the evidence. It's in like a British accent.
Oh. That's lighter than probable cause, though.
And understanding that to be true,
right?
If they felt there wasn't enough evidence,
right? No, I'm agreeing. I'm not giving you pushback.
I'm just
asking, like, okay,
for everybody else that's probably slow or just not as experienced. They have a lower burden of proof over there, and the case gets dismissed.
Right. I mean, it's like I said before, it's difficult to charge. It's difficult to convict on SA anyway. It has to be so blatant, or you have to have so much evidence, because a lot of the times it's one person's word against another. But this whole the whole Adam Tate, I mean, yeah, the whole Tate thing is just it's a money grab.
We just watched like 5 people be convicted of SA with little to no evidence aside from hearsay.
Yeah, but that's even with that, Viz, that's anecdotal. I'm talking about when you look at it in math, SA is very difficult to convict on.
Yeah, it's hey man, free Tate, free the Tates, free Diddy. That's why I'm at with it.
Said free Diddy too. What you thinking about the young lady?
Diddy didn't do shit. He's just a freak.
She's big mad, and I mean, she's a stone cold feminist. So no matter what, I think she's just grifting on the opposite spectrum. She has to have that type of persona, no matter what the outcome is. As long as there's an accusation, you are guilty until proven innocent, in her opinion. But the problem is that type of shit is dangerous, man. People aren't understanding when somebody does this to a person's life. If they're not guilty, you just make this shit up. Just think about what they've done to their career. If this guy makes a living based on his public appearance, and then someone just comes in and with wild accusations, it doesn't matter. In a court of public opinion, he's still guilty to a lot of people. They're always going to see him as, the rapist or whatever they want to look at him as, or the pimp or the abuser, right? There's a lot of people who still think that, just like this woman. She obviously, well, at least she's portraying as if she thinks that. And I'm sure that she's probably convinced more women that he is guilty of everything that he's accused of, even though he's technically exonerated, right? And the way that our system is set up is so bad, because it's like, okay, even after you defeat the state or whatever you are defending against, now you got to sit there for round 2 for the money grab. So even though they didn't have enough evidence there, it's still like, okay, well, we can still hose you for all your bread. That's crazy too. But as long as these types of opportunities are available and they're one-sided, usually in the favor of women, then you're probably going to see a lot more of these. And I think thirdly, one thing that we don't have that we should have is severe punishments for anybody who comes up with a lie that's they're not guilty of. I think that we have to start holding anyone accountable who would perjure themselves and just straight lie. I'll leave it there.
Hey, Trev, and to the rest of the panel, seeing how this seems to be a common thing where people with powerful voices, and they may have people that disagree with them, are often accused of things that they may or may not have done, right? So is it anything that we can probably do to prevent this, or do you think it should be more ownership on the person involving themselves in a situation? Or do you think, as you just stated, Trev, that it needs to be tougher laws to be able to combat and thoroughly investigate before?
I do believe there should be tougher penalties for that, but at the same time, you got to CYA no matter what. There are certain things that you have to do. Particularly if you're in the public eye, then you just have to move differently. When you have to have a lot of your own evidence. And like I even tell dudes something as simple as, like, if you had like a little jump session or whatever, you kind of need to make sure you in contact with this woman. Like, you can't just pump and dump and drop women, because a lot of times they get angry with you, and that's the perfect revenge, is to say that you SA them and now you on a hook for whatever. And once that happens to you and you are a public figure, it's a wrap. Like you were never, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to recover from that and almost impossible as a man. So you just have to move different and you got to know when to fold them. You can't take on every challenge. You can't jump on every single opportunity that you get. You have to know when to fold them. You just got to tell some women, nah, I'm cool. And there's nothing wrong with that. Stay out of situations and, keep your eye out for opportunists. You just have, when you start to get to a certain level, it's just like what they say, to who much is gifted, much is expected. As you start moving up in the ranks, once you become more popular, you have more notoriety, you have more responsibility, and you can't move the same way as when you didn't.
I think they need to make it where you can't just sue someone civilly for sexual assault, and that the results of that then if you sue someone criminally or press charges or pursue them criminally, then and you're convicted of it, the civil should be automatic. Because now that'll stop women from just trying to go after men with money, and then men with money, we gotta stop fucking women who don't have shit to lose. Like that's a huge problem for most men, that they get caught up. Like look at every athlete, look at every celebrity, every rich person. They get caught up fucking with girls who don't have shit to lose. They're not equally yoked in the what I have to lose category, and then this shit goes left for them. Because men should understand that when you meet a woman, the woman you meet when y'all are together is not going to be the same woman you meet when y'all break up, or like in marriage when you get divorced. So a lot of these guys, they get in their own way. If it's everybody like fucking, that's cool, but you got to start fucking with people who have something to at risk. So then that way they won't. They won't put you or themselves in jeopardy because they don't want to ruin their livelihoods.
All right. What you got on this, Viz?
Yeah, I can't really add too much. I think Trev and Willie hit it on the head, but I definitely agree that there needs to be a much higher consequence on just flat out lying, on somebody to try and build a case on them or to try and extort them, because we see that quite too often. We literally been watching that happen for easily the past 10 years, back to back type cases. So I think there needs to be stiffer penalties for women just coming out blatantly lying.
All right. Anybody else got anything else to add before we move on?
I would say that the initial thing that she was trying to say is that she didn't feel like Andrew Tate should have a mic to speak his perspective, which is insane, because she's doing the exact same thing that she's saying that he shouldn't be able to do, which is provide context or provide his side of the story or whatever he wanted to communicate to the public. I think it's damaging to the movement in some regard, because if you're saying that I cannot speak just because somebody brought up charges on me, then what's to say somebody can't just say you did something to them and bring up charges on you, so now you can't communicate either? So I think it's a very slippery slope. And in addition, my thought process is that I think that most feminists are getting paid, especially when they go onto these shows and things of that nature, or they just very challenged in their process of thinking, because it doesn't make any sense to go against the people that you're wanting power from in the way that they're going about it. And so with this particular lady, she had already seemed to have convicted him. Now, to answer the other questions that people said on the panel about what they would like to happen, that sounds nice. However, it doesn't provide the government money, right? The thing that is currently going on right now allows the government to get money and continue to have people be at war with each other, because it gives them more power, right? Because when men and women are together in a cohesive unit and an equally yoked relationship, the government has less power on that institution, if you will. So it is to the detriment for the government to stop women from saying that they've been SA'd and then given a consequence. Because if there's a consequence, then women would stop more times than not, and then that would stop the money flow. That's my perspective.
You got to disincentivize them like Kentucky did with divorce. You got to stop making it where they can use, allegations of something like this, as a means to come up. Like, don't believe all women. I'd say believe few women, and then make the rest of them prove it. Because, yeah, a lot of the times, man, this shit just don't seem like it's a.
All right. Hank, I don't know if you want to add anything. I just played the video again with the young lady responding. So we just did a reset.
That lady is 60.
She's 60? Yeah, no, so you may call her the old lady.
Oh, yeah, that's an old lady.
Well, we can't hear you, just so you know, your audio.
My bad. Yeah, I really ain't got nothing too much to say about that old heifer, man. She sound like she's mad and upset that the man, found a way to get past some of these charges, these issues. And that's not what she wanted. She was looking for that man to go down, and that's not the results what she got. So I'm gonna leave it there.
All right. Guys, haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're gonna go ahead and keep it moving. Get into this Cardi B, man. She's made the news yet again in the media. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip. We're gonna get into it.
I don't even know if it was like a strength or something. I just feel like it was like my body was like really rejecting it. It's like, like that picture that is like a girl throwing up and she's throwing up hearts. Like, I feel like I was getting like really like sick. And it's like, all right, this is dead. Because I had separation moments that people wouldn't even know that I'm separated. There has been moments that it's like, I wouldn't see a motherfucker for 2-3 months. We're not in the same house. We're not fucking. We're not talking. But nobody really knows, though. Nobody's going to ever know your complete business. But you could do that. But if you're not ready to leave, you're just not ready to leave. Especially when you don't talk to other guys, or you don't really be outside like that, or you're not out there like that. And for some reason, this is so weird. Men actually respect marriages.
What do you mean by that?
Women don't really respect marriages.
You're saying outside of the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Like a man wouldn't come to you.
Yes.
Because he's like, oh, you've got your thing.
Yes, because when I used to meet guys, any type of famous guys and stuff like that, they'll be like, how you doing, Cardi B? Like this and that. My DMs were extremely dry. Nobody would approach me. But these women, they will throw themselves at a married man like it's nothing. It's like, oh, well, whatever. And it's not because it was me, like, because I don't, I'm Cardi B at the end of the day. When I announced that I was single, oh boy. Oh,
like my God. Your DMs?
The DMs, the every type of way they was trying to reach. But when they know that you're like in a marriage and like you have a family, they won't approach you. They won't. So it was just like my world was there.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it, what she had to say so far. It's a girl, Cardi B. Let's go ahead and get easy in there.
Well, there may be some truth to what she says from a stereotypical standpoint. I think in reality, I think we all can agree when it comes to cheating, it's pretty even on all sides. I mean, and I think we all probably could go further to agree that many of us would probably feel that women are even better at it than men are, and maybe even do it more. But that's maybe another topic for another time. But I think because she's saying women love cheating with married men, probably because it may be a little bit more easy and more transactional for a woman to do that, because there's less of an or less of a chance for an emotional attachment. Whether it's if it's the other way around, typically the emotions get involved when a woman steps out there that triggers the physical act. So, I mean, there's some truth to what she's saying per se. It's a double standard probably wrapped in there somewhere, but I really don't have a lot to add to that. But I think women may love cheating with married men because perhaps it's easier to do, because typically the man, well, she has the power to play by the rules of the secret relationship or not. And a lot of times it's easier and emotionless and more transactional.
I would disagree with the brother on that. I think that women like married men for the same reason that women like when they see a man with his kids being a good dad. I think that women naturally want provision. I think women naturally want a man who can take care of them, and they see a man being the man that they want to another woman. And I think they want it. And I think when it comes to women and the vice versa, most men, when we see it, and honestly, a part of it is based on how the woman presents herself. A woman can present herself in a way and be married to, like, oh, you still a hoe. Like, I know you married, but you a hoe. So, I'm going to still try and get with you. But a woman that's actually married and she look like she married and she's not advertising herself a certain way, absolutely, most men is going to respect that. And we're not even going to might not even be attracted to you. We might, it's just, most men respect that. I think a woman who behaves like she married and she look like she married and you can tell she belonged to somebody. I think most men is going to respect that versus women who's going to want a parts of that.
Women are no more better at cheating than they are better than men at being passengers in a car. The only reason why they seem like they're better because for them it's easier. Niggas are not calling other men and say, "Hey, Trev, I'm coming to you man to man. You fucking Jody." Like, that's just not happening. And all they have to do is they control access to sex. So when they want to cheat, they can open their legs and get 10 dicks every 15 minutes if they want to. It's like we got to stop saying that they're better when their job is easier, because they're not. And as far as married, like women fucking married, man, that's easy. The same way that some men they see guys who have things and they want to take that thing from him, or they're like, oh, they feel like they deserve whatever that thing is, that car, that watch, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they feel like they deserve it because for whatever reason. Women are like that with men. They see a married man and she's like, oh, I look better than his wife. I'm prettier than his wife. My ass is fatter than his wife's. I should have him. And then that's how they end up trying to fuck him. It's not like none of this shit is complicated. It's just a lot of people, when they talk about it, don't want to be honest and just say what the fuck it is.
Willie, I would add on to your point when it comes to, I don't think that women better at cheating at all. I think they just typically care more because it's more shame attached to them cheating. So they do more to cover their steps. When most men, like, I know at least when I used to kind of deal with different women back when I was younger, I didn't give a fuck. Like, you catch me, cool, you'll get over it. Like, it was kind of on some time like that versus like, this nigga might kill you, or that you're going to be looked at as a hoe, So I think women are typically better. And I think men have this thing where we view women as not as trifling as us. So sometimes we trust them a bit more. So the easiest way to cheat is to have somebody trust you. Like, oh yeah, baby, go ahead. Like, my woman trusts me. So if I wanted to cheat, it would be extremely easy because she trusts me.
If she didn't trust you, it would make it no different for you to stick your dick in somebody else. It would just make it more inconvenient. That's the only thing. So, and then something being convenient doesn't make it easy. It just, makes it convenient. But your woman trusting you, that's not going to make it easier for you to go fuck other bitches. That means that's just that she knows, either one, she knows you're going to do it and is just trusting you to not bring it home, or she doesn't even think about it. And then it's just like, okay, well, he's out, 4 o'clock in the morning, coming back home with lipstick and glitter on his fucking dick. Like, it's normal or some shit. Like but that's her trusting you. That's not gonna make it easier for you.
I think trust makes it substantially easier to cheat if you can build an environment of trust.
Wow.
And then because that person allows you to do whatever freely, they don't even think about it.
Okay, so let me say this: if she didn't trust you, could she stop you from doing anything that she wanted to do?
She could catch me one time and it will be over.
No, I must not ask you.
No,
could she stop you from doing anything she wanted to do?
No.
If she couldn't stop you, regardless of if she trusts you or not, if she couldn't stop you, her trust you really doesn't move the needle for you there. As far as
she can't physically stop me, but knowing that she would leave me if she caught me would drastically change my behavior.
It would incentivize you to behave, right?
Yeah.
So that's a different conversation, but it's still not. It's not any more difficult for you to go fuck other bitches.
So if you want to do it consistently, right, and somebody trusts you, you can do it consistently.
Oh, you talk about that's where niggas fuck up. Y'all, they try to have a mistress and then that turns into a relationship. Like you can't. That's different. I thought we were just talking about niggas who run around hitting random bitches.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're a dude and you cheating and then you cheating with the same girl, you asking for all the hell that come with that woman-to-woman phone call, your house getting blown up, your clothes getting bleached because you have a relationship with that woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a relationship. Yeah. If you just out you traveling for you on the road because you're an athlete or you're an artist and you just hitting different chicks in a different city, that's significantly less, investment and probably would be better received than you find out you got a relationship with somebody, you paying her bills, you investing in her, you done met her kids, y'all done started planning a second life together.
Yeah,
no, that's rough, G.
But check this out.
Stay single until you ready to just stay single until you're ready to get a relationship.
Willie, check this out. If you cheating on your girl, right? You in a hotel. Your girl knows that you're not home. You on a work trip or whatever. She could try to be on the phone with you that whole fucking night, right? She could try to FaceTime you that whole fucking night.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to think that this will make it much more harder to cheat if she's that pressed to like be on the phone with you on FaceTime.
It doesn't make it harder for me to cheat. It makes it harder for me to cheat and not get caught. But I can still do the fuck I wanted to do if that was the case.
But I don't think that's realistic though.
Yeah, let me say something, man. Before Real Dope say some more dumb shit. Real Dope gonna say some more dumb shit and fuck up every goddamn thing. So look here, most times these women nowadays in 2025, these heifers, they don't want a real solid relationship, so they don't mind cheating. They don't mind getting with a married man because they know there's no obligations. They know they don't have to do no work. They don't have to do the tough stuff that the wife has to do. They don't have to deal with all the bullshit. They just want a quick hit and get the hell on. So yeah, they more likely go and cheat, and they're gonna cheat probably the most because they not looking for something solid, nothing real. They looking for a quick fix and get the hell on. They trying to act like dudes, truth be told. That's what they trying to act like, trying to keep up with the men. And it doesn't work well for them. Because like y'all said, the feelings get involved, and then that turns into something else. Now they taking the Jasmine Sullivan approach and they busting windows out your car and shit. I'll leave it there.
Man, you ain't lying, because I've seen so many of my friends, and there's two types of cheating. There's niggas that just be hitting randoms, and ones that be trying to have like side chicks and mistresses, and every time, they showing up at birthday parties or family dinners, family reunions and shit, making scenes.
Yeah, maybe I've already said this part. I don't know. Forgive me if I didn't listen. The other reason why a woman would cheat with a married man is because we already have talked about this in other shows, that women do a really bad job of selecting good men, right? And so that man that is married has already been chosen. So to that woman that sees him, he's already been vetted, if you will. And so since this woman sees this man as someone that's already been vetted, she knows that he has a particular characteristic about himself that at least one woman wanted. And so she trusts that particular part of it. And so she may pursue that as a result of wanting the other things that the other gentlemen have said, which is no attachment, but just to have the enjoyment of knowing that I just either damaged a relationship, or the fact that at least this is a good dude in that from the beginning anyway.
Maybe a little bit more of this video.
It's such a good point too, Cardi, because I think a lot about what you just said of like your body rejecting it. And I think we need to have more grace for ourselves as women, because I agree with you. Like, there is just this weird, no, you're fine. There is just like this weird double standard thing that's like, it feels like men are always available. And so when you are a woman, you can feel really, really isolated.
Yeah.
And now here we are, and look at the goddamn jersey that you're wearing. Okay, so you're in a relationship. How did you meet this man? Did he slide in your DMs?
It wasn't a DM thing. I could feel the vibe that he liked me, but he never like approached me. But I always heard like he was into me, but he never approached me. He was very respectful and stuff like that.
Okay, so what did you do?
So it was just this one time that I was like, you have to move on. Like, you have to move on. And it's like, no matter how much times you go to the club and think that this is going to distract you, you know what you have to do to move on. In order to move on, you have to be, you know, like getting attention from somebody. If you're so used to getting attention from one person, you have to like get attention from somebody, because at the end of the day, you could party, you could club, you could work, you could job, you could get your hair done. At the end of the day, you kind of want somebody to talk to. You need somebody to talk to. So I asked somebody, like, it's like, hey, it feels illegal. and we just talked. We got to know each other. We was getting to know each other for like a little bit.
Okay.
Not too much. We wasn't doing too much though.
Okay.
Too much.
You were keeping it like, just like slow. And how did you feel in the beginning? Were you nervous to talk to like a new person?
Yes. You could tell I was very nervous.
And what was it about him that made you slowly keep coming back?
Because sometimes that we would talk, and then sometimes we go like weeks or like a month without talking. And for some reason, like it's almost like he always hit me up like at the right time. He almost hit me up like at the times that I feel uneasy. And I'd be like, I don't know if I should deal with this person, because I know this person, he's a little hot, but I'm gonna talk. And then we had really good conversations, and it got to the point that it was like, damn, we talked for hours and 6 hours and 7 hours, and it's like, there was days that it's like, oh, even when we wasn't talking, I was like, I need to talk to this person, because I'm talking to this person every day.
Like, this nigga didn't have to be in training camp or nothing.
Yeah, what the hell? He got too much time in his hands.
That's why I didn't draft his ass in my fantasy team, because I seen this shit coming.
Yeah,
has he came on and said he was her boyfriend yet, or is this just all Cardi's side talking all this?
Well, they've been together. They've been in videos and shit like that. He's definitely hanging around her.
That don't mean that
I don't know if he claimed her.
Yeah.
But has he was like, yeah, this is my girlfriend, or is it just like Cardi putting on his jersey and all this other type of stuff, and he just over here doing her?
Crazy.
I mean, do you claim a hoe? Is that what we do now? We claim hoes? We don't claim hoes. We use them, abuse them, and send them back to the streets. You don't claim hoes. So no, he's probably never going to claim her as a boyfriend, because she's a hoe. And he really
shot the club up. He shot the club up.
You got some dumb dudes though. You got some dumb dudes though. I mean, it's nothing. He dumb.
Yeah, that's wild.
Plus, claiming a married woman as your girlfriend. I mean, come on.
That's kind of wicked. Yeah,
getting pregnant by a rebound is crazy.
Yeah, man.
Right.
The man was fraud dog.
Because did y'all hear what she said? Did y'all hear what she said? How she said that in order for her to like she's going by that little I guess hoe like saying where for you to get over another man, to get over one man, you got to get under another one. Like that shit is crazy. Like she didn't say I need to go heal, I need to get right. She said she just had to jump right back.
Why would she?
Onto another schlong. Because you a mother, because you have
No,
children,
but
because
she's a hoe,
people look up to
Trev.
you, because you're a role model, because you get to talk to former presidents and shit like that. Because people care about what it is that you say.
Bro, this woman was just twerking while she was pregnant.
I saw it,
In
and I was disgusted by it. I was disgusted by it. And you know what? Anybody who liked that up is weird to me, because for me, I wouldn't even try it just because of the sheer thought that could be a baby mother of mine. I would be scared as hell to knock her up, man. I don't see how people could like make a conscious decision to shoot the club up in such a situation like that. That shit is wild to me.
Trev, you be scared to fuck a hoe though. Like that's why, because you got common sense. Like you would be scared to fuck a hoe, and you.
No,
I
wouldn't be scared to smash a hoe, but I definitely.
No, I'm talking about you be scared to raw dog and skeet.
Oh yeah. No, that's out.
And that's what Trev's money right now. You got Stephon Diggs money. You probably not listen, bro. You probably gonna fuck chicks with a hazmat suit on, especially if you're not yours.
Yeah, but I mean, we already saw Cardi B's medical records through that case, right?
Yeah,
because she sued Tasha K. So yeah.
But I want to ask you a question about that, Trev. Like, so what's the fear about getting Cardi pregnant?
For her being my baby mother,
damn,
me being tethered to that woman for the rest of my life.
Being intellectual for once, Hank. Come on, add a conversation.
No, you talking about getting a hoe pregnant? What's wrong with that?
Wait. Maybe he just want to know my answer, because I don't think he would do that shit. I pray to God he wouldn't even think of that. Right. So the reason why is because I would want the parents, if I'm going to co-parent with someone, I want my children's lives to be good. I want them to be, I want them to have someone who's going to set an example. Right. I want somebody who understands, who just isn't uncouth, somebody who knows how to speak English, could probably write a few sentences.
Well, Trev,
someone who they could learn from.
You want somebody that's equally yoked to you. Do you think?
Not necessarily. No, I don't even care about equally yoked. I just want you to be a positive figure. I want you to be able to read and write English. I want you to not be a whore, and I want you to be a good example for my children and be domesticated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. I don't have like a bunch of crazy requirements.
Of course, you would want somebody who articulates themselves well, because you know how to talk. But in terms of Offset and Stephon Diggs, it's like, I'm a professional athlete. I'm not too much worried. I'm a professional athlete who don't got that much sense. I'm not too much worried about. I'm not going to be home. I'm out here fucking off. Like, I'm out here with these hoes. Like, I'm trying to party. I'm doing all this other type of stuff. You gonna be home with the kid. I know you got money. You a trust fund baddie. You got bread, right? So I'm not getting pregnant with somebody who maybe I got more money than. They probably got the same amount of money, right? So in terms of these things, and maybe they have shared values, because they're both not like, they don't think like you. I would assume they don't. He just got 3 women pregnant. So I would assume he's not in that space. I would assume like he's not in that space, where he's thinking about these type of things. And Cardi is probably the most valuable out of all of those women, because they probably don't got the money she got. When they might be better looking, they might have less bodies, but do they have the money that she has and the resources that she has? I'm just looking at this objectively, and I'm throwing out these other, give me push.
No, I get it. And I've said on this platform that
I don't know how you looking at this, though.
Sometimes
I don't know how you.
There is such a thing as.
Don't be emotional.
This is crazy.
Argue the points.
No, because we're trying to teach. We trying to teach our youngins. Would you allow your son to marry a woman like this?
No.
Okay,
so what the fuck is what the? Oh,
so
you sound crazy.
In the community as well, like you're impregnating a woman that is not a mother. You know what I'm saying? She's a mom, maybe. Like she's really a baby mama. That's what she is, right?
Well, she had a daughter. She was married.
That's fine, but what she was before she got married was still who she was when she got into the marriage, right?
Why are we acting like her being a mom matters? You a hoe. Like,
right.
You know how many hoes have kids?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I said that doesn't make her a suitable person.
That makes her irresponsible. It's like a prostitute getting pregnant.
Look, I'm not saying that Cardi B is not a hoe or nothing like that. And we got to be.
Hold on, y'all. I'm sure. I don't think Hamadab was finished.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that we cannot make it okay because the dude is rich and he nutted in a rich woman, right? The child is going to be affected because he is not going to be there, and she now has to explain later the situation in which that she's found herself in. So it makes no sense for an athlete or a person that is not up to his level of money to make a decision that's going to destroy himself, maybe, but for sure destroy the kid. I mean, it's important for us to recognize what's really going on. Like, the kid is going to be the person that has that suffers the consequence of his dad doing what he did and mom doing the thing as well. That's my point.
Ain't shit niggas and an ain't shit hoe got together and had a baby. I don't feel bad for neither one of them.
I'm not feeling bad for them.
No, not you. I'm just generally speaking. I like it when ain't shit niggas get with ain't shit women, because that means that, you know, a lot of times an ain't shit nigga get a good woman pregnant, or a good nigga get an ain't shit woman pregnant. And you know what I'm saying, it's like, y'all hear the story about like the good dads get the worst baby mamas, and then like the good mothers get the worst baby daddies. Like that shit. I'm glad those two motherfuckers are aligned, because the state is gonna raise them kids financially.
My humble dad, the thing that I don't like about Cardi is her representation of herself. Like, so the way she wop and all that type of stuff, the things she say, that's all crazy, right, to me. So I don't like those things about her, what I think she stands for. Now, if we're talking about the type of mother that she is, a lot of times she's been saying some thorough shit, like when it comes to like about men and women to some degree. Like even when she just said, like, you know, a lot of men are respectful, and it's a lot of like she be saying stuff about women that we say on this panel sometimes. So to some degree, sometimes she got her head on her shoulder with some things. Now, when it comes to the lifestyle that her current daughter is living, I don't know about the lifestyle, but what lifestyle do we think her current daughter is living? Like, do we think she has access and she's actually getting the best tutors? Is she getting the best, you know, the best coaches? Like, what is the lifestyle that she's living? Like,
lifestyle, I don't know, but what I do know about children is that they need their mom and their dad in their household, regardless of the finances that is taking place, my dude. That is the problem that you will see a rich kid have, and it's the problem you'll see a poor kid have, them not having their parents together for the extended duration of them being together.
So you think that professional athletes in general shouldn't have kids?
No, I didn't say they shouldn't have kids. I said people should have kids in a marriage.
So what about men who work jobs where they got to be gone for months at a time? Do you think they shouldn't have kids?
I never said that nobody should not have kids. If he's married, if you would look at the information, even though he may be away and they're married, there's still an understanding that when he's away, that the kid will understand why dad had to be away once they get older. Right. There's a guy that I interviewed not too long ago. He said that his dad was never really there. And the reason why his dad wasn't there is because he was having to work 2 and 3 jobs. And he didn't understand that dad missed a lot of time with him. Right. But however, when he got older, dad was still in the picture. He came to dad and talked to him about it. And dad was able to explain to him, son, this is why I was able to pay for your schooling. Son then said, now he's a grown man, he says, now I believe that my dad was probably the best dad in the world. However, in the scenario that we're talking about with Stefan Diggs, he's not going to be able to have the same thought. He's not going to be able to have the same conversation with his child. He's just going to be like, you know, dad's not here. He's a no beat. He's a deadbeat person.
He can't say dad wasn't there because I was being an athlete?
Yes.
Okay. I was being an athlete. I was being an entrepreneur. I have this. I have that. You know, he can't say that the same thing.
But that's not the reason why he wasn't there.
So
the reason why he wasn't there is because he's not connected to his mother. He did not marry the child's mother. So he's going to be out of the kid's life.
So you don't think that he can be there for the kid if he wanted to?
Be there for the kid is different than being in the household with the kid.
So, okay. So this is the inconsistency that I see, right? Because
not the inconsistency. If you're married to the person.
So here's the inconsistency that I see, right?
All right.
So if the goal is to have the father in the house, being able to spend time and for that kid to see and be with that father, right? Then if you are off on a ship working for 2 or 3 months at a time, you're not going to be able to see your kid often, right? Or if you're doing another job that requires you to be away from your kid often, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas let's say I was just Stefan Diggs and I'm like, I want to see my kid, you know, so I'm gonna fly and go see my kid often, or I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna make sure my kid is in the house living, you know, within the same city as me, so I can see my kid every day. you're saying that the person who sees his kid less is better off because technically he's married to the mom.
Yes.
So explain it, because it sounds ridiculous, but explain it to me.
Of course, it sounds ridiculous. So, for example, I give you, since we're using athletes. So LeBron James was rarely in his house because of him being an athlete. But because he's married to the mother of his children, they see him totally different. Okay. He attended games and whatnot, even though he is away a lot of the time. Matter of fact, when they was in the bubble, he didn't get to see his family for quite some time. But because there is an establishment of that, this is your father and I'm married to him, it is seen way different than, okay, that's your dad, but we not together. And he comes when he wants to. The child will understand that perspective. I don't think that you give any credence to children understanding the situation that's going on. Okay. And then because you don't like stats and numbers, so I'm just giving you some common sense.
No, I accept some of them.
What's that?
I accept some.
Okay, you accept some. That don't make any sense if you accept some. Because so the stats show like this. Let me explain.
It depends on where you got the numbers from. It depends on who, if you did a study, who did the study. If you
cool. Okay, I'll have to get the paperwork. It's somewhere around here. But there's about 30 different psychiatrists that have no affiliation with one another. They did a study about what it looks like for a man and a woman to be in the household together. It even says if they are not married and they are in the household, they do not do as good as when there is a man and a woman that are married inside the household, right? So if you take that man that is just the baby daddy out and he's just off somewhere, it's not the same connection of being married to the woman that's in the house, because the woman is going to be having a different conversation. Mom that's married to the man is going to be having a different conversation about dad than the woman that is just some baby mama. It's going to be a totally different conversation. And so the child will understand that and see that and have a different peer view of how to see his dad.
Yeah. So I would have to look at that study. So I can't comment on the study. But I do think that the idea that children look at their fathers differently when they're married to the mother than not married to the mom, that doesn't make sense to me. And I'll say, well, why? If you are a father who's in your kids' lives, I'm talking about active, like you every day, take them to school, pick them up from school, take them to practice, all the type of things. I think the idea that you look at your father differently because he doesn't have a paper or whatever would be the difference between him being in a relationship with your mom and not, a marriage with your mom and not. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think kids look at that at all. I don't think kids think about that at all.
You base that on what?
Just common sense. But
how often are you around children?
Every day.
Yeah, give me an example.
I wake up.
So hold on, Dope. Are you basing this off your anecdotal situation?
Hold on, real quick. Like, I'm not talking about your kids. I'm talking about children in general. How often?
That's not mine?
Yeah.
Not often.
Okay. Okay. So then, for you to say it's ridiculous, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
I've been in education over 20. I've been in education over 20 something years, and I'm around children as it relates to being their teacher or administrator for a very long time.
Okay.
And we talk about the dynamics of their parents. And so they see their parent differently if it's just a baby daddy.
Well, what makes you say that?
If they're in the household, because the mom is going to be speaking differently about the father.
So
you disagree with that as a statement? That a woman that is a baby mama is going to be speaking this. You think they're going to be speaking the same about the father of their child if one is married and one is not?
I think most cases they will speak differently.
Okay, so which one would speak positively?
Most cases, a lot of baby moms don't speak positively about their father.
Correct. So therefore, the one that is married to the husband, married to their father, is probably going to speak a lot better than the baby mama, right?
But do you understand how that?
So with that being said, just based on that information alone, would show you that it's not ridiculous of a statement that I'm making.
But do you understand how like that can distort the basis of your not allegation, but your statement? So of course, most baby moms and most baby dads have completely toxic relationships. The vast majority of them, right? Most of them, they're dysfunctional. They hate each other. They got to drop the baby off at the police station. All these other type of things. Like these are things that play a part into these numbers, a huge part. Versus saying having two mature people who co-parent together gracefully. That's a different story. Or not even co-parent together. Let's say two people who just happen to live together and they have a great relationship and they just didn't choose to get married. Right? I know my son's aunt, like they got they popping a baby out every year. They popping a baby out. They've never been married, but they've been together for 15 years. And that's just kind of how they roll.
That's fine in how they roll, but they may be an anomaly, but the numbers are not in the favor of how the kid will be raised psychologically.
Yeah, I just gotta. I'm interested in the study. If you can send it to me, I'll check out the study. Right. And I know you accept the study. I gotta I gotta really, look at the study to see if I accept it or not.
Okay.
To Humble Dad's point, do you think that the kids notice when there's a divorce or when they are aware that there's a divorce?
I think so.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Kids when they go through the reason why they suffer is because the mom tends to put them in the middle of the shit. The fathers aren't the ones exposing the kids to the fuck shit they mom did or the arguments they having, and that the dad's energy is not the energy that throws off the entire house. If a woman is not happy, will fuck up an entire home. A man who's not happy will fuck up a room. We'll go in the garage, we'll sit in the car, we'll be in our man cave, but that woman is going to move throughout that house, transiting, dealing with them kids, passing off that I'm hurt wife energy to them children. And then when the shit goes south, what they tend to do is say, your daddy left us instead of your daddy left me. Your daddy wronged us instead of your daddy cheated on me. Or your daddy is dangerous because your daddy beat my ass like he would beat your ass. Like it's sad, but oftentimes when you look at the things that kids going through divorce, and if you talk to them and say, okay, well, who exposed you to this? It's always the mom.
I think to piggyback off of what Humble Dad was speaking on too, psychologically, when you do have two parents in the household, their experience is completely different. We're having dinner together. We're going to family functions together. We're going to the movies together. That's completely different from, dad is coming over to pick me up to go to dinner, or I'm having dinner with dad's girlfriend, or we're going to dad's mom house for Christmas. And then on Christmas Eve, I'm at mom's house. So I think all those little things and scenarios, experiences, plays a tremendous role in the psychological growth of that child and how they see the world and also relationships as well.
How does it mold it? In what way does it mold it to?
Well, it's the we're a unit, and compared to the individualism of this mama's grandma house or daddy's grandma house, where everything is being split, compared to all these both families coming together as one.
Don't you still have your father's grandmom and your mom's grandmom still though, don't you?
But you're not seeing them together. There is a unique value for a child to see his parents moving together as one unit. They don't have to be married, but they can be in the same home operating as if they're married because they're in a committed relationship. But the view and the vision and the experience your kids will have watching you and their mother in a relationship, doing things together, supporting them together. It's not where your dad might come. It's like there's a team aspect that kids benefit from.
Yeah. So I'm asking y'all, what will the fruits of that be?
Better children.
Jesus Christ.
So wait,
I don't understand this, man. Why are we as Black people promoting this baby mama, baby dad. Why is it only us that we are okay with this, pushing this bullshit like it's the greatest thing going? It's not. There's a lot of things negative behind this, and very little positive. So when you gotta sit there and see your parents, and now you gotta make a decision: do I want to spend Christmas with my mama or my daddy? See, that's crazy to me.
And the kids
that doesn't make sense to me. Anyway. No, it shouldn't be that situation. But we are promoting this shit like it's okay. It's a thing to do to be a baby daddy, to be a baby mama. Even if you're not you living together saying you still a baby daddy or baby mama. You're not married. That's what you are. Now, people may not want to accept that name or that title, but that's exactly what you are. You just so happen to live under the same roof, shacking up, but you still a baby mama and daddy who live together. Why are we promoting this as our people? I don't. This is sad. This is sad.
Well, Hank, I mean, just to kind of I do want to say this because I hear what you're saying and I agree with what you're saying, but there are some people who do not agree when it comes to marriage, and they are doing just fine living together. So in order to be able to get them to understand, there has to be a reason that they can digest in a way where it makes sense. Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, maybe I should get married, because if everything is working, the children are turning out fine, they living together, they're not like legally or spiritually married, then they're not going to see the reason that you're seeing, no matter how loud you get with it, or how you don't understand. Cool. But in order to get them to understand, we have to lay out a blueprint. Like Humble Dad speaking about it. We haven't heard Chell. Maybe Chels can do it, Trev. But there has to be some solid information that's given on the panel to be able to convince or even get them thinking outside of the stream as far as if they should get married or not.
The study
So
says
I understand.
Two-parent households, kids do better. Not not married households.
No, it does say two-parent married.
There's several. The one that the majority of these talking points come from, it doesn't matter if they're married or not. It's a household where it's either the mom and the dad, and then a household where it's just the dad, and then it's a household where the kids fall off. And the difference between the household with the mother and dad both being in the household and just the dad being in that household, the differences are negligible.
That's not true. Study, like if you go.
All right, wait. Before you say it's not true, I'm gonna give you the same study, but I can cite mine right now. So you can't say it's not true when I have the study for it. So you can say I don't agree, or I don't
agree. That's fine. I don't agree. This is because
Humble Dad, you got your study though, right?
I haven't found the study, so I went to go look it up. Right.
So I got something on this. I kind of see where real dope is coming from, because I mean he's looking for some tangible differences to explain the situation, right? Because as it is right now, you in that situation, you don't see anything wrong. You feel like your kids are going to come out fine, and shit, I believe you. But the study is like how it goes is that it's not the marriage itself that I think does it. So I agree with that part. But people who typically are in the mind frame of that cohesion do get married, right? So it's not the marriage itself. It's not like you all of a sudden go through a ceremony or the paperwork and then you do that. But people typically who have that frame of mind go ahead and complete and get that marriage to enjoy the benefits of marriage, and whether it be spiritual or whether it be tax liabilities or whatever the situation is, they find it more advantageous to be married. Can it function outside of that and you have still a good experience? Of course, we have our outliers. LeBron James was mentioned before, but what was he a product of? Right? He didn't have the father in his life, but look what he became. So we do understand that there are outliers, but I think we should understand that they are outliers, right? You're in all likelihood, your best opportunity at that outcome is to not go against the grain. There's always different formulas and ways to do things, and most people know if you follow it, then this is what you do. Just like if you're trying to get going, you want to get right. You know how to work out. You know what not to eat. Some people just can eat whatever they want, but that's not typically the right way to do it to get the desired outcome. So that's what people are really trying to say is like, this is if this is what you want to do, these are the tangible steps that you can take to get this particular outcome. Is it 100%? No. But if you do these steps, you're going to have a lot easier time getting that success that you want.
Yeah, but Trey, you gave LeBron. LeBron was raised with his coach. His coach brought him in when he was in high school. So he was up under a two-bedroom. He was up under a two-bedroom. Yeah. So he probably didn't really, like you said, he was born, raised majority of life with his mama. But guess what? Right. His formative years of high school, he was raised under a two-parent household type situation. No, he wasn't his mother's father, but he at least had the blueprint of what it looks like. And that's how he based his relationship off of what he was modeled after of.
I just put a link in the chat.
I'm about to check it out, Humble Dad. I guess for me, like when it comes to these studies, a lot of them aren't detailed enough for me. Like I would like to see like studies where there actually are a structured childhood with a person people who are co-parenting, and they have a structured childhood and they have resources compared to the same thing to a married couple, or that, and also a couple living in a house together with the same structure, same resources, same finances, the same everything. And I would like to see them all, but I'm gonna check out this.
If you read that,
yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Willie. My bad.
If you read that study and you see when the metrics were measured, it'll make everything that you said seem like it was more valid. The video that I just posted, where ladies citing the study that I'm talking about, those measures were taken in 2014. The study that he posted started in 1996, I believe. So that's not a study that I'm unfamiliar with. So again, both sources are there, and it's more recently been proven that if a kid is in a household with two parents, regardless if they're married, they just have a two parents in a relationship in a home, those kids do best. And then there's a slight drop off if it's just the father, and then it's a significant drop off if it's just the mother. But feel free to fact checking.
Yeah, but Mike, you talking about most.
Yeah, trying to get in there too, y'all.
Go ahead.
On my phone.
I'm not gonna get into the statistics and all of that because I don't know them. I just know in general that kids do better in a two-parent household. I will say this: being life and death in the power of the tongue, right? And ceremonies and rituals do affect who we become once we've gone through the ceremony or the ritual. And when you get married, it's a ceremony or a ritual. And I think M. White is married, so he might be able to speak to how he felt, once he jumped the broom. But I remember the day I got married, and I'm saying this to you, Trev, it literally felt like I was a different person, like I was becoming a different person. My mindset was shifting and expanding and becoming a husband, right? As opposed to a boyfriend or a fiance. I do think for my anecdotal experiences, being married to my wife shows up in how I communicate with her, how she communicates with me, and how my kids pick up on those subtle nuances of our relationship. Knowing that we are locked in legally, ceremoniously, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, I do think that has an effect on kids. Now, I had a child at the age of 20, so I have a child out of wedlock. I'm a baby daddy. My baby mother's a baby mother, right? I have two kids within my marriage. And while I never lived with my baby mother, so I guess it's not a fair comparison to what we're talking about here, where the baby mother and baby father live together. I don't even need a statistic to tell you the detrimental effects that it has on my oldest daughter in comparison to my two youngest, who get to see a husband and a wife every day, day in and day out. So I'm not trying to debate any of y'all on if marriage is better than just a two-parent household, but from my personal experiences, I know that going through that process of actually making a woman my wife has an effect on me personally. And then whatever has an effect on me personally definitely has an effect on my kids.
That makes
So
sense.
I can say this. I'm not sure if you know. I'm married. Been married since like 06, whatever. So, what I will say is
God
that
damn.
no, it did
Hold
not.
on, you say you married, Trev?
Now we know.
Nigga,
Yeah,
you been
been
married for
married.
almost 20 years?
What?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, for real, bro. Congrats, G.
Damn, y'all, how y'all didn't?
God damn.
Y'all
I
didn't
mean,
know
just
that.
2 weeks ago.
Most people
2 weeks
know,
ago.
Bro, you made it to almost
Y'all-
20 years going through the tip girl era, the city girl era, and hoe loving culture, bro. You were the GOAT.
I mean, you were so well versed in the passport conversation. I just assumed. So I apologize for assuming. You're my bad.
Hey,
Dog.
well, hey, look.
Damn.
Two things can be right at the same time. So, what I'm saying is that it does something different for everybody. But to me, as far as my responsibilities and what I would have done, or me going through like a transformation like that, I can't really say that. I could say for children, it was like you had a duty, but me and my wife already had that kind of a relationship where we just knew, like, okay, look, you know, I got you, you got me. This is what we're gonna do. It didn't take the ceremony. We were together, and once the way that we connected, we already knew, like, okay, it, I could think for her sometimes, she could think for me sometimes, and we just had each other, like, no matter what the situation was. So I don't think I I didn't have a transformation like that. And I do think that even if we weren't married, and I would never suggest people shouldn't get married, right? I think that you should take the proper precautions. I don't want to ever try to steer anyone away from marriage who is, and or people, you know, like, I respect the sanctity of marriage and all of that, but I don't ever push my views on people, right? And I don't think that if that's not something that you do, I'm who am I to tell you that you were wrong for having a different approach if it works for you? That's my perspective, right? As long as people are not getting hurt and your children are taken care of, which is most important, you take care of your family. That's the most important thing to me. So I think that the children itself definitely gives you that transformation because it hits you and you like, damn, I created life. And you realized that that person cannot do well unless you do well. You have to do well by them. So that is the type of transformation. But yeah, and I, you know, not to negate your experience because that's a great thing, but I don't think it's so. I guess it depends on how your relationship developed in the first place and how it was. So what I don't want to do is say that I don't want to. I definitely don't want to take away from marriage because it's a beautiful thing, but I don't want to overrate it either. Right? I don't want to. I don't want to go ahead and tell someone because they didn't decide to get married that they're wrong and that they will be ineffective at raising children just because of it, because that I don't think that that's the case.
Got you.
Not this, you know what I'm saying?
No,
I think that I completely believe that you do need a two-parent household, but not everybody believes
Lock
in
his
the same
ass
thing.
up.
Some people don't believe in marriage. It doesn't mean that they can't raise beautiful children. It doesn't mean they can't do a good job as parents.
Got you. So I'm not giving you any pushback on that. The only thing that I would give you a little pushback on, and like I said, this is just my experience. I don't necessarily think it's the relationship itself that caused me to have that experience. I think it was my internal attachment to becoming something that I wasn't the day before. Right?
Okay.
The day on May 24th, 2015, I was just technically I was a single man, right? I was in a relationship, right? On May 25th, 2015, I became a husband, right? And so my attachment to the title and what that meant to me and my parents, I grew up in a two-parent household. My father wasn't just my father, he was my mother's husband. And so I look at that as a title. So if you take it out of relationships for a moment and you're just Trev, you've always been whatever Trev is, right? But if tomorrow they came to you and was like, you're King Trev, right? You might be like, well, damn, hold on. what does this mean? What do I have power over? What's different about my life now that I have this actual title that actually comes with a certain amount of weight, at least in my own perspective, in my own experience. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I think if me and my wife had never gotten married, we could have still raised, blossoming children and had a good relationship and all of that. But it was more of my attachment to what I define as a husband and what role a husband actually plays in a day in, day out basis that caused me to have that moment like, wow, like this is surreal. This is really happening. I'm becoming a husband. But I couldn't do that without making her a wife. Does that make sense?
So why do y'all
That
think
makes
that
perfect
other
sense.
cultures actually value marriage if it's not a big deal?
Tradition.
Because in their culture, it's a big deal.
But why though?
Because it works for their culture.
But why?
Other cultures,
That's like saying, why do some cultures eat with their hands and we don't?
No. It's not the same.
Same thing.
It's not the same.
Other cultures,
Other cultures put marriage at the top because it's one of the ways in which wealth happens.
a lot of cultures are polygamous also.
No, not
A lot of
not
cultures
as,
eat with their hands. A lot of cultures
as
live
many,
outside.
not as many as you.
It's a lot of Muslim countries out there, and they're doing very well financially.
Okay, but if we look at, we're in the United States.
But you brought up other cultures, bro.
Right. There are other cultures in the United States. Right. So if you look at it from the position of where we are, and we're talking about Black culture most of the time, and the things that you're saying don't help Black culture. Like we're currently doing the things that some of you guys are suggesting, and we're at the bottom.
I don't agree.
We were thriving when we were married. Then you can go research that all day long.
I'm saying I don't agree that
as a culture. Say it again.
I'm saying I don't agree that we're doing the thing that everybody on this panel believes that people should be getting together, people should be having lifelong relationships with another like men and women.
Right. But marriage,
we're not
but I'm saying, but marriage is what has allowed other cultures to supersede us.
How do we know it's marriage?
Because it's been documented.
But how do we know? Other cultures get married when they get together. What if those cultures chose not to get married but just get together?
So you one of those type of people. Okay.
I'm just asking the question.
But you go with what the information that is documented, which is what you see. Your question is that you really don't want to answer to. Because what you're suggesting is I want it to be very, very specific to the point of which I cannot debate anything, when in actuality, there is always going to be a nuance to some things and pretty much everything. But if we're looking at the generic things of what we're talking about, marriage has been the institution that has held this not just America, but even in other countries. And in America, what we're talking about is Black people are at the bottom as it relates to wealth, as it relates to education, whether it relates to any of the negative stats Black people lead in, and individuals on this panel would suggest that marriage would not be the thing, but we should go ahead and live together. When in actuality, that is not what other cultures do. And when was even during the Jim Crow law, before the Jim Crow law, and during the slave times, when slavery ended, they were trying to get back to their family, trying to get back to their spouses. And then when Jim Crow took place, Black people came together to be married. And they were at the top of it as it relates to, I think it was about 80% being married. And we were stronger together. As soon as civil rights happened and began to start the feminist movement in that, it began to disseminate marriages in Black people, along with businesses not being able to be Black. They're Black owned, but Black people are now thinking that white people are better, all those things. And so there is a history that is assigned to us being married and thriving. Yeah. I don't understand the dynamics of, okay, let's just be baby mama and baby daddy and just live together.
So did they disseminate the marriage, or did they take the fathers out the homes?
Did they take the fathers out the home, or did they disseminate the marriage? They work hand in hand, my dude.
Yeah. So like the idea, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, right? I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
So when I ask a question like, if those people were together, they just weren't married, how would those kids fare, or how would our community be? You can say, oh, I don't have that information, which is fine.
That's what's going on right now. We're not married.
No, but it's different. Like it's not that we're together. People aren't getting together anymore. People aren't having relationships. They're not being in homes and living together. Most of the time is mom has got full control. Father's over here. He sees the kids occasionally.
Okay. So would you say that marriage in other communities have been the reason why they thrive? You think that an Asian community would be cool with their son and their daughter or whatever just living together and raising a kid, and you think that they feel like even Nigerians don't even think that?
Yeah, I don't think that they would like that.
So why is it that we won't look at what works if we disagree with it?
Well, what I'm saying is, I don't think that we have the information to know is it working because they're married, or is it working because honestly, I don't know how many of those people are married on paper versus just being married through their culture. Like, I don't know how many of those.
What?
So this is what I got, Humble Dad. I'll tell you the reason why I don't necessarily, as a married person, I don't necessarily promote marriage. I don't say that it's bad, right? I don't say anything to disparage it, but I find it difficult to promote because there's so much work we have to do before we get to that point. We understand that the failure rate is extremely high, and we don't know how to be in relationships yet. So we have to crawl before we can walk. We still working on that part. We have to learn how to even coexist at all. And being that the marriage system is now weaponized and incentivized, even if you go ahead and get a prenup, people don't even understand. You got to re-up on that shit every 5 years. There's a lot of different things that you can do to protect yourself, and people still go around it. So it's just, it's when there's an incentive for a woman to leave you, then that can be problematic. So I think that we have to seriously work on our relationship dynamics first, because in all honesty, let's just say I think that the likelihood of you not leaving, a woman not leaving you because she's not married, is probably just as strong than if she was married to you, being that leaving a marriage is actually incentivized monetarily.
Understood that. You're talking about the women or the children? Because I was talking about the children.
Okay.
Right? The goal is to make sure that we have healthy children. And the most beneficial thing is to have a 2-parent household together. I agree that we need to have work done before that, but we should tell people where the goal is and then be able to assist them toward getting towards the goal. Right. And so I'm saying that if this is why the Black community is going to continue to be trash, in the sense of, as it relates to moving toward there is no goal in the Black community. Like, even on the panel, people have different thought processes as it relates to the facts. Like, the facts are marriage is better for a kid in overall generality in every culture of society. However, Black people will say, well, I don't like the situation that's going on, so I'm not going to get married. And you're more concerned about yourself than your children, right? Your children are what's most important. Men understand that, I thought, right? Yes, it is challenging finding someone. It's challenging running a business, but do you know that Black people are the fastest to get into a business and also the fastest to fail? But it don't stop Black people from trying to own something. They still working, trying to get to it. So it is going to be work, agreed and understood. But that should be the goal, because that is what has worked for centuries, even for us as Black people.
Point of information, Humble Dad. You used two different. So at one point you said 2-parent households, and then you said this is why we need to get married. I just wanted to acknowledge that you used those are two different things.
So when I say 2-parent household, I'm talking about marriage. But I understand that for clarity, when I'm saying 2-parent household, I'll put it on that are married. The information shows that the child will be better. What's the word? It will be better for them long term.
is what I'm saying.
If they're married?
Yes, if the two parents are married.
Well,
and my scenario is I was married for about 14 years with my late wife for 20 years. She died, right? I understood that it was going to be different, obviously, now having to be a dad to grieving children. Okay. So, however, that's not the reason why I got married. However, it ended up happening that I got married again. And the way that my kids see marriage, they still want to get married because they see fruits from it, as opposed to just wanting to be a dad to somebody's kid and then they're not in the household. So my children have experienced something that most kids won't ever experience. And that's the loss of their mother while she was married to the dad, but they still want to be married because they see fruit from it. So that's what I'm saying. Now you just have to find you a good woman that you're willing to raise your children with. That's the hard part. After that, it will be challenges, but as long as she is willing to work with you and your program and how y'all going to raise your kids, because if y'all not together, then who decides on who is going to get the final say?
Typically the mom.
So, Humble Dad, I want to ask you something real quick.
Can I just another information real quick, because he did it again. You said dad's not being in the household, which is different from being married. I'm sorry.
I said what?
You said at one point you said the father's not in the household, and that's just different from not being married. Those are different things. Sorry.
So what is your question?
No, I just wanted to throw that out just to acknowledge that I'm not going to say that you conflated two different things, but you are saying two different, because you're advocating that people need to be married, not just in relationships with children under one home. And at one point you said the kids need the father in the home, which is different from being married. So that doesn't necessarily aid in your argument. Yeah.
That's why I said that when I'm talking about, I did clarify. I said, when I'm talking about two-parent household, I'm talking about mom and dad being married in the household.
I understand that. I do think that I think that you should probably not do it that way, only because those are two different, completely separate things.
Yeah, we gotta.
Sorry, go ahead, Trey.
I just had one quick question. I'll be out of here. Humble Dad, do you think that, we know there's no question that you believe in the covenant between a man, his wife, and God. Do you think that a person needs to do it legally to be effective, or do you think that the covenant between a man, his wife, and God are important enough for that marriage to be valid?
Well, if we go by that, I would say based upon whatever the law of the land is, to be honest, because if it's not like that in other countries and they're still doing well, then it will still be fine between in my belief, it would still be fine with God, right? Because you still have to be obedient to the laws of the land unless they contradict the Bible. And so if you believe that it contradicts the Bible in your position, then I can ride with that too.
Okay, because I think that's like a decent space, because I do believe in the sanctity of marriage, right? But as far as what America has done to corrupt it legally, I don't agree.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I agree with that statement. Yeah, okay. That's why I said that it's hard. That was my premise. That it's hard to find a woman that's just going to be with you long term. But it also can be said the other way around, that it's hard to find a man, but that's not what we're talking about. It's harder because women have been incentivized in the most recent years to leave the marriage, as opposed to in previous years, right? A woman could get beat, and if she started it, then they was like, well, you caused it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm aware that it is different nowadays, but I'm also not against the fact that marriage, I'm not against the fact of understanding that marriages are also still the number one reason of wealth
gained, as well as your child coming out better than a child that doesn't have the married family in the household, because that is what is going on all around the world.
All right, let's get some of the other folks. I did have this last clip, man. I could run this last clip if y'all want me to. Yeah, all right, here we go.
Cardi B mentioned in one of her interviews how men respect marriages but women don't. And what she meant by that is when you're married, men typically will not approach you like, yeah, they might like think you're cute, they might think you're this and that, but they will not like even speak to you because they know that you're married. But women will still throw themselves at married men. And trust me, I have experienced it myself. I can testify that that shit is 100% true. Yo, when I was married, like, I want to say the most that people would do is like, maybe like swipe up and like heart a photo or something like that. But they were not in my DMs like that. It wasn't until I officially confirmed that I was single, everybody came swarming in. It was almost like they were just waiting for the day. But when I was married, these bitches did not give a fuck. They did not care. Constantly threw themselves at my partner. Constantly, once, how it goes with women is, if they see how a man is treating you, they're like, oh, I want that. I'm going to have that. Because she can have that, I can have it too. But 9 times out of 10, how a man is treating you, he's not going to treat. How a man is treating his wife, he's not going to treat you like that because you're not his wife. Even if you get somewhere with him, he's most likely going to like and be out, right? But regardless, all that is wrong. That's why I say it's important to find a God-fearing man. Because somebody who truly fears God is not going to move any kind of weight with you. And even if women are throwing themselves at them, they can have enough discipline to turn it down. But these other men, yeah, good luck.
If there's one thing I can't fucking stand is a bitch that knows that this man has a fucking wife and kids at home and she's still willing to fuck with him. Why? Like, on a scale from 1 to 10, tell me how low your self-esteem is. I'll wait, bitch, because right now you're like at a fucking negative, okay? Like, it's unbelievable to me. Like, y'all bitches feel good about yourselves with what y'all doing? You know, because it couldn't be fucking me, bitch. It just couldn't be fucking me. You know what I'm saying? Like, ya, I don't know what ¿qué les pasa por la puta mente para pensar, sí, este hombre casado va a ser mío? Motherfuckers never leave their wife. Do you guys know that men only fucking are cheating on their wives because they're just trying to get that pleasure out? But emotionally, it takes them a time to get emotionally attached to a fucking female. So emotionally, he's attached to his wife. And he would probably like 98% of the time not leave his wife for your bitch ass. Especially if you're an easy hoe. You know what I'm saying? A few of you hoes on here. Anyways, it's just unbelievable to me. It's just fucking unbelievable to me. I don't know how these bitches can sleep at night. I don't fucking know. And then on top of that, you want to giggle about it? I slept with a married man. I'm talking to a married man. He called me while he was with his family. Bitch, that's fucking sad. That's sad. That is so fucking sad. And I'm gonna pray for you hoes.
I heard a doctor say that whenever he started wearing a wedding ring after he got married, more women started hitting on him. And that's the truth. There are women that are very trashy and they have a thing particularly for married men. The challenge and the chase of someone else's man excites them. And that is exactly why you want to date or marry a man who has good boundaries with other women. You don't want to date the guy. You don't want to marry the guy that's like, I could have a work wife. I have a best female friend. Men that don't have boundaries with other women, that let other women constantly flirt with him and he indulges it because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings. Steer far and clear from those men. Because at the end of the day, no matter how a woman behaves towards your husband, it is his job
to put boundaries in place and protect your marriage, because there's always going to be trashy women that are like, ooh, married man. Mistresses are unfortunately always going to exist because there's always going to be women who have no self-respect. So yes, honestly, to some women, your husband is attractive just because he's with you, and that is why a good man, a faithful husband, will have good boundaries with all other women.
I'm listening to a Cardi B interview, and in that interview she said in her experience men respect marriages more than women. The reason that pisses me off is because it's not the marriage that they're respecting, it's the man's ownership of you as you being his wife. That's what gets them the respect. They're respecting the other man, they're not respecting you. They're not respecting the marriage between you, they're respecting the man's ownership of you.
Yep.
Two things.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the point.
Some shit does sound better with a Spanish accent. Two, why are we sitting here acting like it's about a man respecting a man's ownership? Like, I hate when feminists, like, if you want to piss me off, just make me listen to a feminist. I hate when feminists talk about shit because I have never respected a married woman because of the ownership that I thought her husband had over her. That's the stupidest shit that I've seen on the internet this week. It's because I respect the marriage and I respect the man. Fuck the ownership of him. That's yeah, man. I think
that she was. I think the way that she worded it is the very thing that I feel that all of us as men agree to. Is the fact that this is someone's life. You know what I'm saying? So this is their property. You know what I'm saying? However a feminist wants to look at it, this woman is this man's property. This is their wife. Period. So yeah, that is
period.
Literally how it is that men look at it. And if you don't, then you one of them niggas that most men don't respect. So
I don't look at it like it's your property. I respect you and I respect your marriage. It's not because I think your wife is your property. What in the 1950s fuck are we talking about?
Well, she is.
I'm saying,
Vince, she is
I
my
agree with
property.
you, Vince. It's the man property that I'm respect. Like, that's his shit. Like, I'm not about to go in his house.
Yeah, this is your wife.
But there's another.
I understand the word. I understand the word may be triggering.
That's why
that's some sensitive shit to me,
bruh.
If I'm out somewhere, I meet Marcus's wife. Hey, how you doing, Mrs. White? Mrs. White. She has his last name. This is him. This is his woman. This is his wife. This is his property. Period. Yeah, I don't even it's not much to even talk about or have a conversation with the technical terms of it.
Anything that I gotta be responsible for is my fucking property. My kids belong to me. My woman belong to me. It is what it is. When they get older, then they do their own thing. But right now, you belong to me.
So I'm just going to make sure this is documented for the record that I categorically and emphatically disagree with people being fucking property.
So I think real quick. I hear the property thing, but I think there's another level to it that's more just based on how men operate. And what that is that a good man is willing to go to war, but he doesn't necessarily want to go to war. And he's not going to take an action that could lead to a war if he can avoid taking that action. So the property thing may be an aspect of the thought process, but let's just say it is. That's his property. So I'm not going to fuck with his property because I don't want him to come fuck with me for fucking with his property. And so even in that thought process, we always say men want peace. It's like, oh, you married, shorty? No, I'm good. And I'm not just good just because you're married. I'm good because I don't want your husband to come looking for me and me to have to do something to him that's going to make you sad later on anyway. So even in avoiding or not pursuing the married woman, there's an element of self-preservation and the avoidance of war. When women pursue married men. Women are less likely to end up in a violent conflict over something like that, right? Even when women have conflict, it's usually verbal. When men have conflict, they ain't about to be a whole bunch of talking. Yo, I caught you slanging the D to my wife. Bodies. End of story. That's it. So men typically, in my opinion, they avoid it because of the worst case scenario. If this thing gets out, I don't need dude to come looking for me because I was piping his old lady.
Why are you mad at the nigga?
Even when we talk about
and
we
not
mad,
your wife?
it'll be like, I'm mad because she cheated. It'll be something he did that was disrespectful about the cheating. Like Remy.
Hold on. Start over. What you saying now?
Even when we be so I use Remy Ma for example. Papoose was fighting him not for hitting his wife. He was fighting him because he shook his hand and he violated the man code. Niggas we be madder not about the actual sex that occurred, but you brought this nigga in my house.
Right.
It's the violation of our personal space that be really setting niggas off. If you really think about how we just think about how
that makes it worse. No, it's still you crack my wife, but
Yeah, that's just like a charge
in my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Look, all right. So if you catch your wife cheating at Applebee's, are you gonna go up and start fighting her and shit?
Are they fucking at Applebee's?
We're not going crazy.
Okay, if you catch your wife fucking in the bathroom at Applebee's, are you gonna fight her?
I'm not gonna fight my wife or the nigga.
Anybody.
No, I'm not gonna fight the nigga because it's not his fault.
Okay, now, hold on. If you catch this nigga in your house, in your bed, fucking your wife,
you know my story. So why are you asking me this question? Nigga, you know what my story is, so you know what my answer is. I'm going to jail.
You went in Applebee's and everybody got
Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
I can't answer this because you already know the answer. You gotta ask somebody else.
I don't know. Hey, no, I don't know, man.
M White is on point with
your
that.
bed, right
M
next
White.
to Tim's. What you gonna do?
M White, the cheat code that we just figured out is you don't shoot him, but you gotta say, yo, I won't do nothing to you if you whoop her ass. That's the cheat code. We just figured it out.
You gotta make him beat her up at gunpoint.
Because
it's still violence, though. It's still
violence now.
It's still violence.
You didn't do it though. You come home, catch your old lady getting her back blown out. You pull your pistol out and say, "Listen, this is what's gonna happen. Either you beat her up or I'm gonna pop you." Trust me, she's getting beat up.
That's fair. But my whole point with it is
crazy as hell.
You might not. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be hurt, but you probably won't take it to violence because he technically ain't violating you. He just having sex with the like. Once he crossed into your threshold, you paying.
Yeah, that's different. No, that's different.
Yeah,
that's a whole different level of disrespect.
Him coming into the home
is going to get violent.
That's
if you just
definitely
catch them enhancement. At Applebee's, you might walk in, let her know you see her, and stop fucking with her, and not be because he hasn't violated a boundary of yours for real.
I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. If I caught her getting cracked at Applebee's, I'm gonna be more mad that she let a nigga fuck her at Applebee's when I've been taking a bitch to STK, saying RPM, Ruth Chris, Prime, all these places. I gotta take her to Carbone, but you let this nigga fuck you for a 2 for $20? Yeah, we're probably fighting, bro.
No, I think.
Well, hold on, Marcus. He did violate you because if she's your property, he violated it. If she's your property, like y'all say, right?
I agree with you, but I think that we don't take it to the X. It's got to be a like we're gonna be mad, and she more so violated you than he did in that scenario.
It's gonna depend on the man.
You say what?
I said it's gonna depend on the man.
All of us up here would be pissed off.
My wife decided to start keeping her back blown out in our room. I'd be like, all right, it is what it is. Shit, it's over. It's a wrap. You can go about your business. But if she bring a nigga in the home that it's a whole different story.
I think even in that situation, right? If it's a random dude, then I could see, it being the focus being on her. Now, if it's a nigga that I done seen at a job, I done seen the nigga under her Facebook page post or some shit like that. I don't know. He in clear violation, and somebody leaving home with a pumpkin head.
That's my point, though, Viz. That's what I'm saying. Because there's always a threat of violence in a situation like that.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Like the reason why I say it depends on that man, and it depends on the situation too. If somebody's in your house, obviously that's automatic right there. But when you get that rush, you never really know how a man is going to respond and react. But then there's also the afterthought.
JR, why is it different in the house though? Why would it be different if you call her in your house versus if you call her outside?
I mean, I agree with you. That's
okay.
It's like it's the same reason it would be different.
But she may be just as much as in violation as him because she brought him into the house and he's in the house. So
it's just the same difference if she was driving her car. I mean, if he was driving her car compared to him driving your car.
No, the difference is that it's a clear cut. The difference is that it's a clear-cut crime of passion if it's in the crib. So you got a fighting chance.
Bro, we told you what to do.
He's got the whole joint played out.
So wait, let me ask you a question now. Since
like he'll be for time off and be torturing them for days.
Do you think I was wrong for how I reacted in that situation? Do you think I was wrong?
You got to tell the story.
I'm not telling the whole fucking story. I'm gonna ask you a question, nigga. You know the answer already.
What was your reaction? Can you tell me the reaction again?
I fought everybody in that motherfucker.
Thank you.
It was your house. Yeah, I don't think you was wrong.
But that's the thing, though, right? I can't say it just because it was my house. Because one, I'm not trying to be funny, but I understand what come with dating military women. That most of them are whores, so I get that, right? And I have been gone for like a year, so I understand that too. I don't think there was a fact that it was in my house. I don't think that was the issue.
You kind of got to tell this story, dude. Because
no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not telling the story again. We've already. It's an episode of the past. They got to find it.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
Story for you, and then you can jump in.
No, don't tell us. No, I don't need you to tell my story. Like it's already out here. Do you think I was wrong?
Gonna make it extra funny for you too.
Do you think I was wrong for crashing on everybody?
No. I was gonna make it extra funny. I was gonna make shit up and everything. You sure you don't want to hear me?
Oh yeah, if you're gonna make up shit, I want to hear this too now.
All right, so
I have a vested interest in this one.
All right, so when he was coming home for deployment, he had a 60-gallon bag on his back. He was struggling to get up the stairs, so much so he had to stop and take 3 Tylenols because it was hurting his spine. So then he searched, and then he found his keys. He opened the door, and when he opened the door, all he seen was Nike boxes, brand new Nike boxes. It was a size 15, a 13, a 12, a 7, a 6, a 4, and a 2.5. He was like, "What the hell is this? Is this charity?"
Hey,
so
what the hell is going on?
He was like, "What the hell is this? Is this charity?" So he looking around like, "Who the fuck bought all these Nike boxes? And where's the shoes?" So then, bedroom door.
He said, "Where are the shoes?"
All lined up like a graph from littlest to biggest. And then he walked in the room and he seen the midget lubing his wife down. 2 niggas hitting from the back.
Damn.
Like, one from the back, one from the front. It was another nigga jacking off in front of her, and another one was sitting behind him waiting his turn, talking about some come on, y'all. And then when Willie walked in, it was all covered in baby oil. So he was like, "What the fuck is y'all doing?" And he tried to swing on the nigga, and the baby oil made him slide past him and fall into the midget. Then he rolled over the bed. His wife backed up against the wall. It was like, "What the fuck is this? Why, Willie? Why?" And you like, "Bitch, you cheated on me with 4 niggas and a midget. Why'd you buy them Nike? Why y'all in here, baby oil? You know I just came back off deployment." So then you ran to the closet to get your gun. And while you was holding your gun at the other niggas, the midget ran underneath your arm and out the room, so he got away safely. And then you had the other fuck niggas there, hemmed up against the wall, and then you pulled the baby boy. You lined them all up and made him take a face shot, and then you let him go. And then you broke up with her and divorced her. How was that story?
Hey, yo, pause on that end. That was a little.
Hold on. Which part of that story was untrue? The part where you had to take the Tylenol, was that the only untrue part of it?
Man, I was gonna say this. NY is a great storyteller. I have never heard somebody tell one of my stories in such great detail, but goddamn, That man added a fucking midget and baby oil and a 60-pound bag. Cause I didn't have my sea bag. When I
Oh
walked
shit!
down,
The
so
baby
that-
oil that was fabrication too?
Huh?
The baby oil was fabrication too?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this nigga.
Oh, so you did have baby oil?
Oh shit! God dang.
Whether fuck it was, you know what I'm saying, a slippery situation is neither here nor there. I just want to make sure that it's well understood. I did not.
Willie walked in like, oh, it's finna go down.
He said, I got next.
Yo,
Oh my God!
you niggas are wild. Oh man.
God
But
dang.
yeah, just say that, you man, this fellas,
That nigga.
Insult to injury.
it's always going to end up as a host. That's the moral of the story.
Hey, how I do with that story was it good?
That
enough?
was great.
Ah.
Like, because now if I tell the actual story, it's gonna seem like worse because it's serious, but it won't be as funny as when I told y'all when we was, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't live up to the. I mean, because I think the nigga was like 5'2", but that's not the point. It's just like
so the midget part was true.
I mean,
he was borderline midget. He was borderline midget.
One of the niggas was real short. I mean, you know, just listen.
So it was multiple dudes.
Hank, nigga, you was backstage. We was talking about this, bro. What are you talking about?
What was I? God damn.
He making you
What are you
relive.
talking about? No,
Oh, my fault.
It ain't
No, don't have no flashbacks, brother. My bad. My bad.
I probably would have
He did some nasty work.
My point was when you was holding the gun at eye level. And
Jay, especially that baby oil. That baby oil made it real nasty.
I'm gonna leave this up to y'all. These big problems. I'm a little fella and ran about.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold it, bro. If everybody had been like drenched in baby oil, bro, I probably wouldn't even fight. I'm not about to fight naked niggas in baby oil, bro. That shit is crazy.
That is, yeah.
He had to fight the ones without the baby oil.
Appreciate little man slid out the room.
Sexual shit I ever heard is running the train with baby oil on you.
Damn, if she never watched it, she would be mad as shit.
That's the most bisexual shit I ever heard. Running the train and putting baby oil on y'all. Like, why are you even naked? Like, why are you even naked running the train? Like,
so look, the crazy thing is, right? The friend that was supposed to be there with her punked out because her nigga went through her phone and caught her. So she didn't show up. So every time I see that girl regularly, well, I say regularly, but like once a year, like when I'm back at home, and every time I see her with her new family, she got kids and shit, I want to go over there and tell them your mom used to be a hoe and tell them about their story.
But Willie though, hold on though. Doesn't that kind of give credence to Real Dope's point earlier that if you don't have trust, it makes it harder to pull it off?
No, because that bitch didn't have trust and she still did it.
she thought she wasn't come home.
Well, no, because I came home a week early. Like they let me go home from deployment early. That's a fact.
But she had trust in the idea that you weren't going to be there. The other
she
shit,
didn't have trust in me. She had trust in her circumstances.
Right.
Hold on, Willie. She had a friend that was supposed to join the party, and so she didn't.
Two man. I think they was about to get some 2-man on.
It was like
So she felt obligated to fulfill in and take all of them.
Listen, bro, I've been very transparent. I've been very transparent in the fact that I have a lot of experience dealing with whores, especially in the military. I don't know why this.
I know that's right, though.
Because what happened to me is
wicked,
some mild
dude.
shit compared to the other stuff that happened to some of my partners. So I take my lesson and I took my lick and was just like, you know what, military bitches are cool. I get it.
Damn, Willie, you love them whores, huh?
When I was young, I did. I had a type.
Hey,
sure.
I mean, I like those too. I ain't never
full naked or like did they had like their pants on at least still?
Nigga, it wasn't a nigga in there with socks on, bro.
Oh my god,
that's crazy.
crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey man,
socks off.
nobody wants to get no baby oil on their feet, baby. I mean, no socks, dude. You don't get baby oil on your socks.
What type of Nike?
Nah,
what
you know
type of
how
Nike
crazy that is. You got so comfortable in somebody else's crib and shit. You
Yeah,
down to the
that's
bare feet.
wow.
Damn.
That's wild.
What type of Nike is in the box?
Motherfucker had
the
coins
fact-
and everything on their goddamn feet. God
It was
damn.
comfortable. Oh my god. Then you got to
That's
fight
crazy.
naked. That shit is the worst. Oh, fuck that.
No, it would. I mean, listen. I mean, nigga, you was on the back, so you know what happened for real. But yeah, it was just for people to clarification.
No,
point
I
of
missed the
information.
story. It might have been a time I was out. I don't know.
No,
why.
nigga, you were there because you asked the
was here?
same question. You had a question. That was one of the questions asked. So again, point of information.
Lock his ass up.
To be crystal clear, I'm not wrestling with niggas in baby oil. Like,
Yeah, no.
Damn.
Gunfire. There
That's
is
a
no
pretty
wrestling
good
with naked
deterrent.
niggas
Yeah,
in
yeah.
baby oil. It's not a
No.
Diddy party. This was just, you know what I'm saying, some Navy ho shit.
Fuck.
No, we just, to be clear, there was no fighting. I didn't, at no point in time did I wrestle with a naked nigga in baby oil. I want to make that's on the
Did the
record.
midget walk out though? Did the midget get away?
I mean, nigga, you know the answer is yes. I don't know why you want me to say it out loud. Like, I wasn't about to catch that shit, nigga.
I'm done. Take me off.
What are we talking about?
Take me off.
Man, boy, it sounds like one of them in the closet things, boy.
I do not want it.
Listen, it was. I was glad that I was young and didn't have resources, and I'm also thankful that I had a father from a household that had, two parents in it. They weren't married, so that way I was not emotionally fragile when the Lord saw fit to put me in this fuckery. Because had I been, I probably wouldn't be here talking to y'all. But no, I probably would have been out by now.
Yeah.
No, that would have been 4 counts of murder. So no, I probably would have still been locked up. And I wouldn't have been able to talk to y'all. So
Hey, no, that's a crime of passion, man. You would have got it.
If you would have caught them at the Holiday Inn, would you have wanted to fight?
No, if I had caught them at the Holiday Inn, what I would have done is I just would have took one of my throwaways, shot at the door after I killed them, and then said I caught 3 men sexually assaulting my wife, and then one of them shot her. And
God damn.
I played that off way different. Not that I've planned it out or anything. I'm just saying.
Was this at your house or an apartment?
Yeah, I had a townhouse in Hampton when I was stationed in Norfolk. I was living in Hampton, Virginia.
I would have to set that house on fire, dog, to bless that motherfucker. We got to burn it to the ashes.
Hank, one day, and I tell you, the crash out that happened after that, burning that house down would have been the first thing that I did, and I crashed out every day for a month. Like, yeah,
that's happy, man.
Yo, somebody said they need to make a Tubi movie out of your story,
bro. This is what's fucked up, right? Again, mind you, right? Shit happened. I don't care if you niggas laugh. Great. I end up having 15 different people put restraining orders on me. It was her homegirl. Her homegirl got one against her kids because I guess she thought that I was going to do something to them. Then all the niggas, they wives, girlfriends, and kids all had like military protective orders because they thought that I was going to like be on the type of time that I was on day one, which was true because I was. But like I got served with like, so when you get a military protection order served, they call you down to like the precinct on base. You got to bring a chain of command with you, and they say, okay, cool. But it's like one packet, right? Well, I had like a stack of packets. So mind you, when we get past, like I'm hearing names, I don't even know who they are. And then like, well, yeah, this is the spouse of so-and-so. Well, this is the child of so-and-so. So it was like 15 people that I couldn't be nowhere near until, the situation was resolved.
Damn.
Yeah. It worked out really well.
That's fucked up. How you become the bad guy and they was
I deserved it. Trust me. When I tell you that, Shells, when I tell you that I crashed out,
it was bad. Okay.
Yeah. That's the only crash out I have in life.
Yeah, he said he did it for a couple months, right? He did what you said, a couple months he was crashing.
Out for 34 days straight.
God damn.
Oh shit.
So yeah, it was rough.
That man was seeking. He was seeking that get back, boy.
Huh?
I said you was seeking that get back, wasn't you?
I wouldn't say I was seeking that get back. I was trying to decide, how good I could fight because I was pretty sure I was going to jail. Like I was certain that I was going to get kicked out the military, kicked out the Navy, and go to prison because I was doing a lot, bro. I was doing them.
Was any of them? Was any of the men there, fellow?
All of them were. Everybody was in the military.
Damn. God.
And
damn.
One of the dudes was like, so when we deploy, we have
said
like
even a midget.
the midget, the 5'2" nigga, he was just somebody from base. But like, so when we would deploy, right, they would leave a set amount of us behind to like do logistic support, pay issues. They go send the PSD. One of the niggas was our PSD liaison who was on the ship with me, but was supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? So like that, so in the story, right, when I told you that one saying Papa, that was who that was for. Because nigga, you know me. Like we on the same ship. And then this is bro. So I had to get my lick back.
Oh, you know what he was doing? He was watching you do your dirt and probably going back and telling your old lady.
That's the thing. I didn't do no dirt.
Got the end.
I didn't have no dirt to do. I was on a ship with females, right? But the thing is, you guys know what my dating preference is. We didn't have any of that on my ship. They were all of the groups of women that are excluded from my dating preferences. So there was no dirt for me to do. And then 2, I'm working like 16 hours a day. So it really wasn't no time for me to do nothing. Like, and that's import. When we out to sea, it's damn near 20 hours a day. So there was no dirt for me to do. But you know what I'm saying? Shit happens. I'm not really, it works for her. She don't want got to tell whatever, I can only imagine what stories she's told folks about, why we not together, but
I know her version of the story too. You want to hear it?
Oh Lord!
I know what her version of the story is because her and the girl's name is Nara. So when they were talking, right? So I'm IT, so it's not hard for me to get in people's phones. So I went instead of getting in her phone because your girl gonna delete the shit. So I went and got Nara's phone so I could have a whole conversation. So I watched how they planned the shit out, and then after that, like when she was telling her what happened. And like what I did, and like I was listening, had all of that stuff read out, and I was printing out screenshots and shit because I knew that I was gonna need it when we went to court or when I went to court martial. And bro, it was a lot of fucked up. It was a lot of shit going on. And nobody got an Article 19. Nobody got Article 19.
Did you suffer any penalties?
Huh?
Also, that was your penalty.
Yeah,
that was your penalty.
I think I was an E1 for fucking 24 months. Fuck yeah, I suffered a penalty.
Okay.
Yeah. Pink, listen. I was when I tell you I crashed, bro.
According to her story, you just was an abusive narcissist.
Well, I need to know what was that crash consist of. I need to know this then.
Every time, just know that I
violated. Can it be told?
Yeah, no, I violated every military protection order they put out. They were saying, don't go to this person's house. I was on that motherfucker's roof. Like, when I tell you, bro, I was outside.
God damn.
It was on this roof. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's Article 15, G. Nobody got one but me. I got 3 over that one thing.
Damn.
So, yeah, I crashed out pretty bad. One of them was an officer, so that's what I really got the most trouble for because, he got hurt. He got hurt bad.
Hold on, let me get to these couple. Bruno, $5. Want to thank you for that. And Bruno again with the 99-cent super sticker. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Appreciate y'all patience through the rough stream. Catch us. We live streaming tomorrow, so catch us tomorrow. And thank you guys for your support. Let's make sure we support everybody on the channel. Follow their YouTubes. Go to their IG, see what they got going on. And we are out.